Hickok45 here. We have an old video for you we're going to show you. This is one that goes back 3 years to October 21st, 08. Long time ago. Doesn't seem that long, but that's when I started doing this crazy stuff. So if you're going to see it, you got to sit and watch it. We have a special new program that will force you to watch it. Sorry about that. Before we show it to you though, I just wanted to express our appreciation again to all of you for tuning in and for subscribing and putting up with the emails that come to you whenever we post a new video. You know, that just speaks well of your taste, right? No, we really do appreciate all of you, and you know, as I've said before, we have never played any of those subscription games, you know, sub for sub and go to this site and figure out how to get all these sites. We just do our videos, and it's gradually built up to this point, and we're still shocked and amazed, astonished by it, really, because we just do what we like to do. I mentioned, I put a little description in the recent pumpkin watermelon shoot, you know, about how I enjoy watching this video over and over. You know, John did a great job in the slow-mo and everything. We just like the stuff we do. We even like watching it, you know. It's just fun watching guns being shot, taken apart, and watching melons being shot and all that kind of stuff. So we just do what we like to do, and fortunately you all enjoy it. We're so glad you do. But anyway, about 3 years ago, I decided I had done something with some guns of the West for my students, and I guess I got a little confident. Hey, maybe I could talk to a camera that's sitting there on a tripod. Maybe I could do that. And I had done something with the Colts and lever guns, and from that I said, well, maybe I'll get some Glocks out and try this and put it on a disc CD. And you know, and I sent it to John when he was off in school, and I was going to send it to some people that I know that like guns, and I'm not sure what I was going to do with it. This was pre-YouTube days. There was not the intent that, hey, I'm going to do something to put on YouTube, because that wasn't really on my radar for what I was doing. So I just got some Glocks out and set up the camera and started talking about Glocks. And you'll see why we didn't post it, or you know, it really wasn't post worthy. And even later, when we started doing the YouTube videos later that fall and putting some things up, that one, there wasn't one that really thought would be good to put up. You'll see. But anyway, we thought maybe you'd enjoy seeing my first run really at doing a video. I was not really Hickok at the time. It was just a different world. So you'll see the sound quality. I wasn't smart enough to speak up after I had fired, because that old camera was bad, you know, in that regard. And it drags a little bit, but anyway, it's very early. It's vintage Hickok, before Hickok really was Hickok, I guess you could say. So for what it's worth, we're going to stick it up here, take a look at it, and you'll see that I'm even worse than I am now. So hope you enjoy it. Hi. I thought I'd just make a Glock tape today. Just kind of fooling around, no script, just dragged out a few Glocks, and a lot of people are interested in Glocks. I've been shooting them for 20 years, probably 21 years now, and have competed with them, many different kinds of competition, IDPA, IPSC, USPSA, and just fooling around on the range. Did 10 years of police work as a reserve deputy, carried Glocks all through that, nothing but Glocks. 45 ACP, 40 caliber. Guess that was it. You know, different models of the 40 and a couple of different models of the 45. Anyway, if you're not familiar with a Glock at all, this is one. I'm going to try not to violate the rules of the range here, and keep the guns pointed down range, particularly if they're loaded. However, in the interest of the video, I do need to probably point in that direction, which is a fairly safe direction as well, make sure the gun is empty. If you're not familiar with how a Glock works, you know, the magazine, of course, is part of the gun. Pop the magazine out. sure it's not loaded. Pull the trigger. Okay. And you grab the release buttons here, pull the slide back just ever so slightly, and it'll go forward. Okay, it's that simple. Mainspring, the barrel, slide. An amazing piece of equipment, ingenious. Put the barrel back in, recoil spring back in, slides back intact now. Frame probably weighs about a ½ ounce, like a potato chip, without anything in it. There we go, we're back in action. Okay, very simple process, and all Glocks come apart the same way. Just field clean them, whatever, no problem at all. Okay, put it back together, and he'll be ready to go. There we go. All right, that is a Glock 9mm, by the way. It fires a 9mm round. If you've not seen one up close, you can see that. I'm not sure about my camera here how closely I can move in on you. Let me grab a 45 just to compare. I was looking at this and the 40. 3 different rounds. If this will work at all. So you have a 9mm, a 40 caliber, and a 45. Probably the 3 most popular rounds that the Glock is chambered in. Okay, and the 9 is very popular. Used to be extremely popular as a police Glock. The 40 replaced that several years back, and probably is still far and away the most popular round as far as police carry. Okay, and many do carry 45, however. That is a large bullet. That is the bullet that the military adopted back in 1911 and carried up through about 1985 or 86. The old military 1911 guns you see in the World War II pictures, that's the cartridge that it fires, the exact cartridge, 45 ACP. So anyway, those are 3 of the most popular rounds. Another one, however, that I'll show today is the 10mm. 10mm is also 40 caliber, but it's just a longer cartridge and a more powerful 40 caliber, if you will. Okay, it's 10mm. Okay. 9mm. Let's go ahead and take a couple shots with it. It is empty. Put a magazine in, and before I get too excited, let me put my earmuffs on, because I will need those. Take a couple of shots. One of the things I want to demonstrate with all these Glocks, if I can hold it halfway steady today, is that they're accurate at close range, and most people think of them as a close range gun. Nothing that you want to shoot long range. However, they are very accurate at long range as well, if you can hold them steady. Now these targets here you see close by are at about 22 yards. Now there's one a little bit closer. But anyway, this first bank of targets is about 22 yards. And across the hill we have them over there from 50 on up to about 80 yards. The big disc, the farthest one you see in front of the wood, is 80 yards away. And I may even take a shot at that, just to demonstrate. First of all, let me fire a couple of 9mm. Close. Let's go out to 80. Great, huh? Now when the Glock is empty, all you have to do is punch the magazine release, drop the magazine. Normally in a match or in combat, you just let it fall on the ground, throw another one in, release the magazine or the slide, and you're ready to go. that the 9mm does not have a lot of recoil. You can generally shoot it very fast if you want to. If you've shot very much. Let's try again here with a little more speed. I'll move down here a little bit. You can almost go full auto with a 9mm. Okay, not much recoil. Very sweet to shoot. Very nice. Now that's the 9. Let's put it away here. And then moving up the chain, we have the 40 caliber. Again, very, very popular police gun, 40 caliber. This particular gun is actually used as a backup gun by many police officers. It's the Glock 27, the smallest version of the 40 that's manufactured. Okay, 40 caliber. Operates the same way. We'll slide back slightly, release it, take it apart. You know, nothing complicated, except it's a lot shorter. When I say backup, this is a gun that many police have in their an ankle holster or just in deep cover somewhere, because the main gun they're carrying on their hip, on their gun belt, is a 40 caliber as well, a larger one, at least as big as the 9 I was shooting there a minute ago, and probably bigger, the Glock 22. And if they ever need another gun, a backup gun, they can pull this one, and it will take the same magazines and cartridges, of course, that the main carry gun uses. That's one of the advantages of it. Now for civilian carry, for permit holders, this is a pretty popular gun, although a lot of people think it's way too small, that you can't hit anything with it, it's just too small. That's not exactly the truth. This is a 40 caliber. Remember the bullet I showed you? 40 caliber. Let's take a couple of shots. Pretty sweet. Even for a small gun, it shoots very well. I'm even going to try out at 80 yards. The big gong out there. That's 80 yards. So who says this thing is not accurate? Now you notice, if you're not familiar with firearms very much, on the last shot, the slide locks back, magazine's empty, okay? And you just insert another loaded magazine, release the slide, you're ready to go, okay? And why not? I've got another magazine of ammo here. Let's just do that. Now generally, you don't even have to release the slide by the slide release button. You just pull back on the slide and it's ready to go. Okay, notice it's always pointed down range. Now I'm going to go from the holster on this one. I'm going to holster the gun, just like we do in a match. And I'm going to pull from the holster. And she's empty again. Okay, that was 40 caliber. That was 40. Now we're going to move up the chain here. 10mm. This is 10mm, the most powerful Glock made. Okay, very powerful round. Excuse me. Let me get a drink of my soft drink here. Now this is a bigger gun too. This is full size. They make this gun in a smaller size as well. Mid-size, I guess you'd call it. This is a full-size Glock 10mm. This gun you could hunt with very successfully. It's plenty powerful enough for that, even hunting deer. Some people use it for that. This is the gun Ted Nugent, if you know who Ted Nugent is, swears by. He loves the Glock 10mm. The Glock 20 is the model number. But he lives up in Michigan and hunts a great deal, and he uses these for that, as well as self-defense. Okay, 10mm. Got some ammo. Oop, those are the carry. I don't want to shoot those. notice at 80 yards, this one's easier to hit at 80 yards with. It's a little bit longer sight radius. You got a longer sight. You can just really pop with it. That's 80 yards. You know, it's a little bit more recoil. Doesn't hurt. Just fine. Feels great. Glocks have a polymer frame, and that absorbs some of that recoil. So even in a powerful Glock, they don't hurt you. Not at all. Fun to shoot. All right, another dead soldier there. Now we're going to finish up with a 45. Now the 45 is not necessarily any more powerful than the 10 millimeter. I mean, you know, you could debate that one, argue the 10 millimeter shoots a smaller bullet. It's 40 caliber. 10 millimeter is 40 caliber for you folks who know your mathematics. And the 45 is 45 caliber. So it's a larger diameter bullet and a heavier bullet, but it's not going as fast. So you got a 10 millimeter bullet, 180 grain bullet, going very fast versus a 230 grain 45 caliber bullet going a little bit slower. Okay, all right. Both very effective as a hunting round or anything. So 45, again, this is the cartridge that the military used for so long, since 1911, before they went to the 9 millimeter in the 80s. So 45, let's take a few shots with it. Shoots a big bullet. Showed that to you. A big fat bullet. Okay? Try a couple of these. Let's go out 80 yards at first. See if we can lob these big bullets that far. It really makes a sound. It's a heavy bullet. Fun. So in any caliber, you know, the Glock has the same feel. You get more recoil. You get slightly bigger frames, but they feel good. They all break down the same way. There you go. This one's a little bit older. See that big 45 caliber hole? It's a big bore. Big bore for sure. Shoots a big bullet. Throws a large slug. Very heavy bullet. And a classic round. The 45 caliber, 45 ACP is a classic round for sure. You're back together and ready to go. You can see these guns are very easy to clean because they're so easy to take apart. You can see they're accurate, long range. You can shoot them close range very well. You practice a little bit with them. I just switched among 4 different calibers here in about 4 different size guns, and that could easily throw a person off. Now I shoot a lot, granted, but that could easily throw you off. It'd be like shooting basketball with a volleyball and different size basketballs. And but these guns are so easy to shoot and so user friendly that you can adjust quite easily to them. All right, so that's kind of the tale of the Glock. Don't know what else to add to that. Other than you always want to be careful with a Glock or any gun, with any kind of automatic, semi-automatic firearm. You know, when you put the round in the chamber, now there's nothing in this one, he's empty, but you know, when you put that magazine in there and then you close it up, you don't see the chamber. There could be a bullet right now in that chamber. If you keep your finger off the trigger, notice my finger up there on the frame, but there could be a round in a chamber. So you always have to treat a semi-automatic pistol as if it's loaded. There are certain indicators. If this little extractor is extending a little bit, that means there's a round in the chamber. But a lot of people don't know that, and some guns don't have that indicator. But there could easily be a round there, so you always have to check it and just keep the slide back when you're not firing it. Okay. So safety is always first. Also, you notice I am shooting steel, but I'm wearing glasses, and all the steel is perfectly flat. Much of it is armor plate. It's very hard steel, very hard. And when the bullets hit it, they go straight out and down. The shrapnel does. Most of the energy is expended on the target. Then if you go to any one of those targets out there and look at the dirt, you can't find any of the bullets. You can find little bitty shrapnel pieces of lead maybe. It's just little shavings. And a row in the dirt where it's just gone straight down. All the hanging targets just throw all the lead downward. Okay. So as long as the lead is flat, there's no, or the target steel is flat, has a flat surface, there's no edges on it, nothing comes back. But you want to wear glasses anyway. And I would not advise you shooting steel unless you're an experienced shooter. There's lots of things you can shoot. You know, I have bowling pins, paper, but many of the matches you actually shoot steel, even cowboy matches. So, but the steel has to be flat and preferably hard. Once the steel gets craters in it from bullet hits, if you get a lot of, well, craters, small craters or large ones, then you're liable to start getting a little bit of lead back at you. Okay? As long as you're wearing glasses, though, the worst you're going to get is a little cut or just a sting, you know, in the face or leg. Okay? Anyway, that's kind of the story of the Glock. Great gun. Can't wear them out. Any questions? Any questions? Hope you had your ear protection on. All right, let me turn this camera off. Y'all still here? Congratulations. You sat through that whole thing. Whew. That's even worse than I am now. At least I think so. Some of you probably thinking, hey, what's the difference? Boring then, boring now. But anyway, we appreciate 100,000 subscribers. All 100,000 of you, thank you. We really do appreciate it. Glad you're out there watching. I mean, back in those days, I thought YouTube was really just for doing stupid stuff. Really, you know, like shooting through the car. I pulled the car down here and shot through it one day, and we had that thing up for a while. That was YouTube. Never really thought about instructional stuff, useful stuff, halfway intelligent stuff, you know. So that was kind of my first attempt at that, to do something that might actually be useful to somebody. And then didn't even think about putting it on YouTube necessarily until later. But anyway, that's it. That was early vintage Hickok. I hope you enjoyed that. The only problem I had back then, I remember in October of 08, was I had a lot of trouble locating a Glock 27 Gen 4. I remember being in every shop in Nashville asking about them, just couldn't find one. But not now. I found one.